Hello, Mr. Gheorghiu.
Hello, how are
We
you?
have today another
Yeah, we
beautiful.
try to show some very beautiful games from the chess history. The back in time somehow. So this one is between two world champions, two legendary world champions. Let's say Capablanca and Alekhine.
Back
Well,
since
everybody knows Alekhine.
1927.
Yeah, well, it was a long time ago, but it was a very good quality of chess. You'll see.
Okay.
So it starts like Queen's Gambit. It was very popular in that time. Everybody at the highest level played these variations. And it has to be said that these grandmasters, super grandmasters, Alekhine, Capablanca, Lasker, and so on, and the rest, Nimzovich and all the rest, they produced the actual theory of chess. We have to thank them because everybody plays now the results of their,
Their work.
analysis of their work, you see. So this position is the so-called Cambridge-Spriggs variation for white and from black.
How it's called?
Cambridge Springs, it was the name, it was called like this.
Okay.
But it was very popular. The idea for black now is to play to attack 3 times the knight from c3. This is the idea, by playing knight e4 and bishop b4. If black can do this, the black is already better in this position. It's already very dangerous for white. So white, first of all, here, white has to play something to avoid this possibility, and the best move here is knight d2 or queen c2. I think he played knight d2 here, no, or what?
Okay, let's see. Yes.
Knight d2. Knight d2 is the best move because it doesn't give the possibility to play knight e4, you see. If you play knight e4, the position is already better for white, you see, because he takes once, and then he goes away with the bishop, and then he can attack the pawn from e4 twice with queen c3. Queen c2, pardon. So the first moment is all right. I mean, knight d2 is a very good move. And after bishop b4, he protects the knight from c3, of course, by playing queen c2. Okay. Well, everything is theory until now. So now, if black takes in c4, for instance, he takes first in f6, takes, and knight takes c4. Small edge for white, a little bit better for white all the time, see. So he castled, and now white played first bishop h4 because he doesn't want to give the bishop, you see, for the moment, you see. So now if you take in c4, he's not forced to take first in f6. He can take immediately with the knight, and the bishop is still there, the bishop from h4, which is all right for white. So now black has to try something very quickly, and he played very actively c5, So from now on, everything was, well, more or less forced tactically, very nice game from here, you see. So, okay, so knight b3 is very good move, and he has to go somewhere with the queen, of course. In a6, in a4, or in b6, or in c7, or in d8, you see. So he has to retreat the queen somewhere, you see. All right, so now, from now on, white is trying to do something quickly to show that he's a little bit better. He has some better chances. And in the meantime, black has to react, also tactically, against the white king, who for the moment
is in
e1, in the middle. So, right, bishop takes, knight takes, of course, and now he takes in c5. Okay, for the moment, he has a pawn. Okay, for the moment, but black has good game tactically, so, all right. So he plays, of course, the normal move, knight e4, and now white takes the other pawn, takes in d5, So now you have to do something quickly again. If you take first in d5, for instance, with the pawn, after bishop d3, white is probably better because the next move will be castle, and after castle, if the king is, safe in g1, is more or less white, better for white in all variations, So black has to do something quickly again, So after c takes d5, he takes in c3, he takes in c3, and now he takes back one pawn and gives white the possibility to do something, take in e6, for instance, or something, and he has a good initiative with black, because you see, the pawn from c3, if you look, the pawn seems to be weak, you know. He has the possibility to attack immediately with rook c8. You know, this is the idea for black. So white has to react very quickly and very well, you know, if he wants to do something, you know. So what to do? So rook d1, the best move, normally, you know. So now black has to do something again. Of course, he tries to open the position. I mean, he takes there, and rook takes d5. And now, in my opinion, and later on they analyzed, of course. Now, after so many years, it's very clear why and what is the difference. The best move here, in modern chess, for instance, is to play simply b6. If he plays b6, the position is very unclear, because the white king is still in e1, as I told you. And the next move is bishop b7 or bishop e6. If he arrives to do this, it's okay for black, you know, even with pawn down, because the pawn from c3 is still weak, you know. But in my opinion, black played a little bit, you know, I mean, he underestimated a little bit the possibilities from his opponent, and he took him b3. Now, this move is not good because, first of all, now the two pawns are not weak anymore, you see, b3 and c3. And now he gave white the possibility to avoid some other variations, very tactical, of course, where black had very good chances, you know, against the structure like this. And now everything is more or less forced, and white can have a strong initiative, you know, tactically. We'll see in the rest of the game. So now you have to go back with the queen, and he has time to put the rook in a very good position, central one, you know, in d4. So he prepares the rest. I mean, he wants to have a very active game later on. For the moment, after the opening, it's clear that white is better because it's no threat anymore against the white king, you know, not in the next 2-3 moves. So now he has to choose the plan. So rook e8. Okay, he realized that he went wrong a little bit, you know, with black, and he tries to wait and give white the possibility to go wrong again, you know. Bishop d3 is also a very good move. Now he gives the pawn from g2, you know.
Yes.
Which is a little bit strange because normally he would try to castle, you know, to go away with the king, you know.
Yes.
Now he plays everything for initiative, white, you see. So he plays bishop d3. He gives the pawn from g2, wants to take in h7 with check. Okay, so he took with check. So now he has two possibilities, to go to h8 or to f8. Yeah, he went to f8, thinking probably that is better because if he goes to h8, in some moments it's very unpleasant, the possibility rook h4, you know, yeah. And it's almost mate like this, you know. So, okay, after rook king f8, now normally, of course, bishop e4, no? Okay, bishop e4, now you have to go away with the king, or the queen. And now a very important move, rook queen d2, yeah? I mean, takes the line, you know, the central squares, and he wants to play later on c4 with the threat queen b4 check, you know. In some variations, it's possible to play like this.
Okay.
So, okay, queen d2 is good. And now he continues, of course, bishop e6. And now c4 he played, no? Or c4, yes. So, a5. Against this threat that I told you before, right? Yeah. Queen b4 check. And now he has to decide what to do, white, you know. So rook g1, very good move again, you know. So he invites you to take in h2. But if you take in h2, the rook goes back and you are almost mate, you see. If I give you one check in h8, it's very, very dangerous, you see.
Yes.
Because the king has to come to e7 and so on, very exposed, you know. So from here, it's practically move my move. Okay, he accepts the challenge because Alekhine played also for initiative all the time, you know. So, okay, rook goes back, and now queen c7. Now is a very nice position, but white, you know, white now has the complete initiative. Only white can play for a win, you see, because the idea is very clear. He wants to give you check in h8, or to play simply rook h7 with the threat, open the diagonal, and again, very strong attack for white, you see. So black has to be very careful, but the position is already much better for his opponent. You know, white is much better here. So queen c5, it was also important because if he had time to give you one check in a3, it was almost mate. When you put a piece in e7, it's mate in h8, you see. So you have to defend with only moves here. Queen c5, okay. Queen c5. All right, bishop d5. Now again, very unpleasant because now if you take in d5, he takes with the rook, opens the diagonal, again almost mate immediately in a few moves, you see. So what to do here with black? He played rook a6. A little bit better was to play rook d8, as I remember. But after rook d8 is complicated, but white is still better in every position, you know. After rook d8. After rook a6, now white comes very quickly, you see. Rook a6 is a small mistake. Probably in time trouble. Because the rook is far away, you see. And gives white the possibility to play this move. I mean, you can't take now in d5 because he's mate immediately in h8, you see.
Yeah.
And this extra tempo wins in every position, you know, here with rook e4. So from now on, he defends with only moves, but it's a little bit too late, you know. Because everything comes very quickly, you see. So rook h7, everything with tempo. Now if you take in d5 again, queen takes g7 mate, or rook h8 mate. Position is zugzwang and winning for white, you see. So what to do? King e7, very sad, but what can you do? You have to go away with the king, you see. So queen takes, now is decisive, of course. It's a miracle that you don't get mated here, you know, I mean, that you escape. You don't get mated. He lost the game in endgame somehow because he defended very well until the end and he avoided to be mated like this, you know, at least, yeah. But the position is completely winning, of course. And now again, very sad, he has to take with the pawn, you know, because he took with the rook, which is normal, no? I mean, if he takes rook d6, takes e6, no? Instead with the pawn. After queen takes f7, again, is lost immediately because threatens mate in 1 in d7.
Yeah.
If you take in e4, the rook, there is mate in 1 in d7. So, okay, finished. No? All right, so he took with the pawn, but now you can imagine the white has the 7th rank, and it you know, it's almost mate all over the board, you know, so like this. So here he could resign, but okay, they played until the end. Queen b4, at least, okay, I told you, at least it's not mate immediately after queen b4 check, you know. So he took, no? And now c5, decisive. Now, okay, rook c6, rook takes before he took, and now rook a7, decisive. Now again, he threatens mate, or at least he wins a rook. And here I think he resigned, no?
He resigned here,
Yeah,
yes.
no.
How he wins a rook here?
I mean, the threat is to give you one check. I mean, it's zugzwang, you don't have any move. What can you move here? If you play rook c8 to avoid check in b8 or in a8, you know, he's mate in 1 in d4.
Ah, this one.
This is very unpleasant also, you know. And if you play, for instance, rook c7, you know, rook c7, you lose a rook after rook c7. Okay. Now he gives check in d4. And what do you play? Rook d7. No, it's impossible. Rook king c8 or king e7, you lose the whole rook after check. One check in a8, for instance. In a8, and you lost the rook.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Here is a very good game by white. You know, Capablanca won a very beautiful game. But of course, Alekhine made some small mistakes, I told you, even at the highest level. It happens, of course, but the quality, excellent, you know. If you look at a game like this, you have to remember that it was played 100 years ago, you see. And look what kind of technique they had, you see.
Very beautiful. Yeah. High quality.
But this is history of chess, you know. Capablanca and Alekhine and Lasker, they are legendary names in chess history, you see. They created the chess theory that everybody knows now and so on, you see. So
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
Everybody can learn from such a game, you see. This is the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.